Imagine you need to buy insurance or want advice about your current policy. Where would you turn for unbiased guidance? We interviewed Binci HEEB, editor-in-chief at thebroker.ch, to learn more about whether insurance brokers are still needed. I'm Philippe, co-founder of the Engage Institute. Welcome to this podcast where we explore innovation and corporate training in the insurance and banking sectors. If you struggle to capture the knowledge of your experts, contact us. We'll record engaging interviews with them for you to share. Now, join me as we delve deeper into today's topic together. Today on the show, I have the great pleasure to welcome Binci HEEB. Hi, Binci. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to picking your brains on the topic of insurance brokers. Are they still relevant nowadays?
Absolutely. I don't think that many insurance policies would be sold if it weren't for the insurance brokers, because it's they who help their clients choose the right ones.
So what is actually an insurance broker?
Let me begin by what is an insurer, and then I'll tell you what an insurance broker is. An insurer is someone who works for an insurance and sells the insurances of this insurance only. The insurance broker, on the other hand, is there for his clients, and he chooses among the best insurances he thinks would be good for his client. He obviously looks what they offer, plus what is a good price. He does not work for any insurance company, but for his client, and is being paid something that is called a courtage by the insurance.
So we are the clients or common people like us who say, hey, we would like to change insurance or find new insurance. So that broker, he or she, will look around the market and find the right insurance company for us. Is that how it works?
That is exactly how it works. And they look at all the insurances the person has and looks whether there should be a change of insurer, because in the meantime, there has been a better offer. And so he tells his clients also when to write a letter to resign from an insurance policy.
We are the clients looking for an insurance policy, and the broker is basically paid by the insurance companies. Isn't there a conflict of interest there?
There might be black sheep who prefer an insurance company to another because they pay more courtage. But this should not be the way it is done. And I know that most of the insurers do not do that.
Okay. So that shouldn't be this kind of issue of brokers going for the highest courtage they can get.
Yeah.
So we spoke first about the insurance broker. There are also other types of brokers in the insurance industry. There are reinsurance brokers. What are these people?
The reinsurers, they transfer risks from an insurance company to reinsurance company. That is what reinsurers do. It enables primary insurers to reduce their underwriting risk. Let's say you have an insurance for bad weather, which hail and things like that, that could ruin all your garden and flowers and plants, etc. Obviously in a bigger scale. Then you would do that with a reinsurer because you can't have all the risk with you because you wouldn't have enough money.
So reinsurers are some kind of wholesale insurance companies where insurance go back to get their own insurance. Is that how it works?
Yes, it's for particularly high damages. Like after a tornado, like almost every year in the United States, houses are being destroyed, etc., etc.
So we've seen that there are two types of brokers, the one for insurance and the reinsurance. But why do you need a magazine for brokers? Are there so many of them, and why is that needed?
Yeah, there is many of them, and their interests are not exactly the same. Lots of interests are the same, but there are others which are not at all. Therefore, it was my boss, Bruno Kopp, who is himself an insurance broker, had his own firm, which he opened, I think, 30 years ago and sold to Acceptable, one of the very big firms, 2 years ago. He had the impression that there was too much about insurers and insurances that he was reading in the newspapers, but too little about insurance brokers. And that's why he thought it would be important to also be able to listen to that voice.
And just for us to understand, how many brokers are there in Switzerland?
There are very large insurance brokers in Switzerland, such as Kessler, Aon, Acep, Quali Broker, and over 1,000 smaller ones. I think there are about 6,900 employees.
So, among these 6,900 brokers, what is the usual profile of a broker? What does she or he do? What have they studied? Where do they come from?
SIBA is an organization where the most important insurance brokers of Switzerland are. There are about 100 firms, and their standards give the most comprehensive and correct impression. These relate to risk analysis, risk and insurance policy, implementation of risk and insurance policy, ongoing support and claims management. The quality of education of its members is very important. They support various educational projects in the insurance sector, which are intended to ensure the attractiveness, practical relevance, and future viability of their profession. SIBA develops further training with various renowned educational institutions or initiates new further training. Maybe you should talk to them.
I'll take the advice. I will. I'll ask Siba, what is the profile of a broker? I think I understood that there was a new law coming soon. VAG. What is this about?
VAG is the new Insurance Supervision Act, which will be introduced on January 1st, 2024. It is a revision which confronts brokers with new challenges, actually. The new VAG is particularly disappointing for insurance brokers, even though one can say that it is good that the independent mediators should have the required training and further education. Everybody is fine with that. But why not insurance agents? A question. FINMA demands transparency, which can lead to tile collection and is completely contrary to data protection law. One other question is, how should the many demands on independent intermediaries in digital sales be met? The mixing of the activities of independent and dependent intermediaries is a fact. You understand what that means? Dependent intermediary is someone working for an insurance dependent. On the other hand, independent is the insurance broker. And it will never be controllable. Many brokers see this as a gross error in the VAG, which may have to be corrected by the Federal Supreme Court in the future.
Okay, so there has been a very different approach from the regulator here and the brokers themselves. There's a lot of challenge ahead, I understand.
Because the insurance brokers think that there's far too much regulation. And why only regulate the insurance brokers to this extent? Just think of how could that be possible? What happened? What did they do there? Why didn't they regulate and look into that business much more?
But if we go back to brokers, if they regulate that one, they might have missed the Credit Suisse. But if they're looking to regulating brokers, is that because they perceive a present issue or they foresee a future issue?
I don't think so. At the beginning, they were thinking about something good, as I said before, good education, etc., for insurance brokers. This is fine and nobody is against that. But you have insurance brokers who are dependent and independent, meaning that they do what I explained before. They help clients choose the right policy. But it is also possible that an insurance broker has own products, insurance products.
But that would be their own products that they have, another insurance company.
Without another insurance company, maybe with an insurance company like Lloyd's in London, but usually these are products that nobody has yet really thought of. Like the firm of my boss, he was the first one to have a product, a policy for earthquakes that didn't exist before.
So it was a broker creating a product.
Exactly.
But
That exists as well. But then you are dependent and independent. Now, if you follow FINMA, you would have to create a second firm. And this is all so complicated. Therefore, I think it's not really thought through thoroughly.
okay. So you just told me that you have a broker that creates an insurance product, but a broker is not an insurance company. So do they require an insurance license? Are they allowed to do this? How does that work?
For example, they can do that. In the case of Bruno Kopp, he works with Lloyd's of England, one of the very big ones and old ones. And together with them, he creates a product, he goes to England, he shows them, and if they agree, they get this new product.
Okay, so he doesn't need an insurance license because behind this, there is Lloyd's.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's others doing the same. So this was one of the questions. What about them? What do they really have to do? It can't be that there have to be two separate firms.
Okay, or they need to have a clear disclosure. Here we are independent and here we are really dependent. If I try to understand the financial market regulation, FINMA, that's probably what they had in mind, which can be understood, but depends how it's implemented then.
And obviously they will have a few people more working just for this new field they created.
Yeah. So you just spoke about innovation. In that case, that was a new insurance product that came from a broker. How do you see the other technologies, such as the famous AI, blockchain, how will they impact brokers?
First of all, I have to say that the whole digitalization in this industry has been quite slow, but it's certainly more advanced in the field of the insurers than of the insurance brokers. Because one has to know that insurance brokers, there are many very small firms and they can't afford too much money. But there are many programs for insurance brokers to make their job at ease, not to use paper. And the insurance brokers are a bit behind. But I see that with the insurers, there is quite a bit that they are doing at the moment. I can name one firm, for example, Helvetia, who is working in the field of health mainly. They have been the first one not just using a chatbot which is being used by most of the insurers, but these chatbots are just dumb. Helvetia now use the chatbot with ChatGPT, and the outcome is really amazing because the difference is huge. absolutely huge.
How long have they been doing that for, using ChatGPT?
They have been starting at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a trial for, I don't know, half a year, 3/4 of a year to see how people reacted to that. But I am absolutely sure that this will be what is going to be used in the future. But there again, you have to teach people how to use a chatbot as ChatGPT, because it can't just be asked in any way. It must be asked in intelligent ways.
You need to teach end users or consumers how to chat with a ChatGPT.
Yes, because you should be using prompts. You should be prompting, which means you should at first let ChatGPT know how you want the answers. Do you want the answers as if it were a teacher, a university professor, or a butcher? It is totally different. You must ask intelligent questions. You must give some input on what you want. Not just ask, where should I go on holiday? But you should say, Italy, Tuscany is so beautiful. I would like to go on a holiday to some kind of castle close to the sea or something like that. Then you give GPT some input on what it is that you want to know.
Yeah, prompting is a whole science by now. It requires a lot more thinking from people so that they give a context and then ask a question, which is actually quite good. But it will take a while, I guess, to educate everybody on how to do proper prompting.
I wrote an article about prompting on The Broker because I thought it was so very important, because last time I was in a big meeting with lots of people, most of them said, so often do I get stupid answers or answers that are not correct at all. And I asked, but what are you asking for? And then it was, as I said before, I want to go on a holiday in Italy. Where should I go? And then I tried to explain it. You can't just ask like that, because if someone goes on Google and wants to have information about a holiday, he needs to give more information even there.
Yeah. Prompting is an important thing. So it seems that AI is important. What about the blockchain? How do brokers see the blockchain?
I see it as very important for the future, and the thing that must and will be used, probably again first by insurers. And it's the perfect solution to a variety of challenges in the insurance industry. Many insurance companies are unaware of the opportunities that technologies like blockchain can give and open to them. Insurance companies that want to be on the cutting edge or innovate to stay on top should experiment with the many opportunities that blockchain offers to simplify and streamline their business operations. There are things like smart contracts for insurance policies and faster claims processing, for example, or payment verification. Financial transactions such as collection of claims or payouts become faster, more accurate, and more auditable. And compliance, enabling insurers to reduce regulatory failures and associated costs. I mean, these are only three of many possibilities.
So AI, blockchain, there will be some possibilities. What about the famous metaverse? Anything there?
Yes, absolutely, because again, a company owned by Helvetia, which is called Smile, they have already gone into the metaverse. And together with the Swiss company in Acta, they have brought insurance to the Web 3.0. Since January of this year, it has been possible to take out insurance with the digital insurer Smile in the metaverse. One can book virtual customer consultations with Smile and buy an insurance policy. Obviously, you get the best feeling about it wearing the glasses, but even without, it gives you this 3D impression.
Have you checked it out yourself?
Of course, whenever I hear about something like that, I always check it out myself, because in the first moment when I heard about the metaverse, I thought, no, don't need it, never going to use it. Who is going to use it? But then I thought, okay, there's so many kids out there playing PlayStation, etc. They already know what the metaverse is. They are playing, they are going into it daily. So those are the customers of tomorrow and after tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones who will be buying the new Apple
headset.
Exactly, when it gets less expensive. But they will want to have it. So yes, it will come. It's not tomorrow, but it's a matter of a few years, I'd say.
So if you had some wishes now, it's a matter of a few years for the metaverse. We talked about AI, the blockchain. What is the wish for brokers for the years to come?
I can say my wish for the brokers is an office without paper, that they can do most of the business online. There is an exception. You will always have to once or so visit your customer to have the real interaction. Plus, there are elderly people who are probably not yet that fit. It doesn't matter. With the insurance broker, it will always be both, but it should be much more online.
So let's wish to the insurance brokers that we get more online in the years to come. Binci, thank you very much for this discussion about insurance brokers and why they are relevant still to the insurance industry. Thank you very much and have a great day. Cheers. Ciao, ciao.
You too. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode, where we brought you some of the latest and greatest from the training, technology, and insurance worlds. Thanks for listening, and thanks to our guests for sharing their valuable insight with us. If you struggle to capture the knowledge of your experts, contact us. We'll record engaging interviews with them for you to share. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. You can also find us on YouTube or LinkedIn, where you can watch the full video of this interview and many others. This interview was made possible thanks to our colleagues Laura Servadio for the coordination of this interview and Patrice Séjalon for a powerful remote interview studio based on AI. Until next time, stay safe and stay insured. Cheers!